Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most debated political figures of our time, Nicolás Maduro, the President of Venezuela. His name frequently appears in headlines tied to controversies, international investigations, and sanctions. But beyond the loud statements, it's crucial to separate fact from interpretation. In this video, we won't judge, endorse, or condemn. Instead, our goal is to analyze how Maduro's legitimacy developed, the legal challenges he faces, and how these are perceived both inside Venezuela and by the international community. We'll examine questions like, how did Maduro come to power? What international accusations has he faced? How do investigations and sanctions impact his domestic and global standing? And finally, what can current data tell us about potential outcomes? By the end of this video, you'll have a structured, data-driven understanding of Nicolás Maduro's unique position in global politics, all based on verified sources, surveys, and international reports. To understand the present, we need to look back. After the death of Hugo Chavez in 2013, Nicolás Maduro won the presidential election by a razor-thin margin, about 1.5%. This narrow victory immediately sparked debate, both inside Venezuela and abroad. The election results were contested by opposition parties and many international observers who cited irregularities and limited transparency in the voting process. Reports documented restricted access for independent monitors, selective media coverage, and unequal opportunities for opposition candidates. These conditions, even in a highly polarized political climate, raised questions about the legitimacy of the electoral outcome. Fast forward to 2018, the situation escalated further. The opposition, citing irregularities and a lack of fair conditions, chose to boycott the presidential election. Voter turnout fell to historic lows, and public trust in the electoral system dropped dramatically. Analysts at the time noted that this was not only a crisis of governance, but also a structural problem within Venezuela's democratic institutions. Questions about legitimacy became a continuous debate both within the country and internationally. During this period, international pressure began to mount. The United States, Canada, and the European Union publicly stated they would not recognize the election results. Personal sanctions were imposed on Maduro and his inner circle, including restrictions on travel and financial assets abroad. It's important to emphasize that sanctions are political and legal tools, not judicial verdicts. They're designed to influence behavior, signal international disapproval, and isolate individuals from participating fully in global systems, but they do not equate to a criminal conviction. In 2020, the U.S. Department of Justice formally charged Maduro with drug trafficking and collaboration with armed groups. While these are serious legal allegations, they cannot currently result in his arrest due to jurisdictional limits. The existence of charges does not imply guilt. It reflects the unusual position of a sitting head of state under direct international legal scrutiny. This situation is extremely rare, and it places Maduro in a unique legal and political category. Parallel to U.S. actions, the International Criminal Court, or ICC, began investigating alleged crimes against humanity connected to the 2014 to 2019 period, during which protests against Maduro's government were often violently suppressed. Human rights organizations documented hundreds of civilian deaths, arbitrary detentions, and excessive use of force by state security forces. These reports are detailed, citing locations, dates, and circumstances of alleged abuses. The central question remains, can these actions be legally tied to Nicolás Maduro himself? International law requires clear proof of a command chain linking orders from leadership to the actions on the ground. At present, the ICC investigation is ongoing, and no final determination has been made.
This distinction is critical. Gathering evidence does not equate to a verdict, and in international law, the standard of proof is high. This process shows how complex the accountability of a sitting leader can be, balancing evidence collection, legal procedures, and political sensitivities. These legal and political processes illustrate a rare situation for any head of state. Maduro is simultaneously governing, facing international sanctions, and under investigation by the ICC. This dual reality of power and scrutiny shapes how both domestic and global actors interact with his government. Inside Venezuela, the effects are profound. Surveys consistently show low levels of public trust in government institutions. However, approval ratings differ depending on the source. Government-conducted surveys often report high levels of support, while independent polls show much lower numbers. These discrepancies are driven by methodology differences, sampling issues, and in some cases, fear among respondents. People may hesitate to express negative opinions openly due to concerns about potential repercussions. Long-term trends point to polarization rather than consensus. Venezuelan society is divided along ideological and regional lines, with segments of the population maintaining strong loyalty to Maduro and others deeply opposed. This polarization affects everything from voting behavior to public debate, creating an environment in which social cohesion is challenged. Internationally, Venezuela faces tangible consequences. Access to global financial markets is restricted, diplomatic engagement is limited, and participation in international agreements has decreased. Even without formal judicial outcomes, reputational risks affect trade, investment, and collaboration with foreign entities. Businesses and countries must weigh legal, financial, and ethical risks when interacting with the Maduro government. Yet not all international actors refuse recognition. Some countries continue diplomatic and economic engagement, highlighting the complex intersection between international law, politics, and national interests. These differing positions illustrate that recognition and legitimacy are not purely legal questions. They are shaped by strategic, economic, and geopolitical calculations. Public perception also plays a significant role. Social media analysis indicates widespread criticism of Maduro internationally, while opinions within Venezuela are more mixed. Online platforms amplify strong positions, both supportive and critical, and do not always reflect broader public sentiment. While social media data can provide insights into trends and discussions, it cannot serve as empirical evidence of legality or overall popularity. Looking ahead, only observable trends and measurable data can inform potential scenarios. Future possibilities include ongoing investigations without formal convictions, increased international pressure through sanctions or diplomatic measures, or internal legal reforms affecting governance structures. None of these scenarios should be interpreted as predictions. Rather, they are logical continuations of current circumstances. Future developments will be influenced by multiple factors, including the progress of the ICC investigations, international diplomatic strategies, domestic political dynamics, and Venezuela's economic conditions. Each of these elements interacts in complex ways, and changes in one area can have ripple effects across others. Understanding these relationships is critical for analyzing potential outcomes solely based on data. What conclusions can we draw from this analysis? Nicolás Maduro occupies a unique legal and political position, a sitting president under significant international scrutiny. Externally, his legitimacy is contested. Internally, it is formally maintained. Most accusations against him remain at the investigation stage, and public trust is low and unstable. Differences in opinion are expected in a polarized society. Ultimately, this is an objective, data-driven assessment. It does not pass moral or ideological judgment. It examines elections, survey data, ongoing investigations, and public sentiment to provide a comprehensive picture. Maduro's position demonstrates the challenges of governing under simultaneous domestic skepticism and international legal pressure. In summary, Nicolás Maduro's case exemplifies the complexities of contemporary leadership, legal ambiguity, and societal division. By carefully separating facts from interpretation, we see a leader navigating a highly scrutinized environment. This analysis remains open to updates as new data emerges, ensuring that our understanding evolves with developments. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more data-driven analyses of global leaders.